Is the India Alliance story over? Do you acknowledge that?
Well, Rocky Balboa very beautifully says it ain't over till it's over. And especially in the world of politics, things
Yeah.
could go amiss anytime. Also, as a
Hmm.
matter of fact, Modi ji, I would definitely take it with a pinch of salt. I think his jibe at Rahul Gandhi, we see a
Yeah.
couple of social media videos coming in where he connects with the motor mechanics and so on and so forth. I think that was a bit below the belt. That was uncalled for. You know, alignment of India alliance going wrong is no news. Definitely yes. But taking a jibe at Rahul Gandhi with respect to motor mechanic, that was uncalled for. I think Modi ji has been a far greater orator than taking a jibe on that front. Otherwise, it's okay. Huh. Coming to the India alliance front, well, writing is on the wall. What else could be said? Mamta Banerjee एक side, Arvind Kejriwal जी एक side, और एक लीडर नीतीश कुमार जैसे महामहिम एक साइड. क्या होगा कांग्रेस का और ये अलायंस का? दिस इज समथिंग टू बी वॉच्ड आउट फॉर. बट
I
मोटर
don't.
मैकेनिक कहने की जरूरत नहीं थी.
If anyone wants to respond to that, I'll take a comment. But otherwise, if we can go back to the panel, I want to spend the last 5 minutes talking about a very interesting thing. The Prime Minister redefined dynastic politics. He said, "ये जो आप बार-बार कहते हैं, अमित शाह के बेटे, राजनाथ के बेटे, ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया, this is not what I call parivarvad. My definition of parivarvad is something else." And he said he wasn't planning to say this in his speech, but Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary or somebody from the opposition benches raised a finger at Mr. Shah and Mr. Rajnath Singh, and then the Prime Minister responded. Listen in, and we'll take last comments after that.
बार बार लॉन्च करने के चक्कर में कांग्रेस की दुकान ताला लगने की नौबत आ गई है। और ये दुकान हम नहीं कह रहे, आप लोग कह रहे हैं। आप लोग कहते हैं दुकान खोलिए, सब जगह पे बोलते हैं, दुकान को ताला लगने की बात आई। यहां हमारे दादा अपनी आदत छोड़ नहीं पाते हैं, वहां से बैठे बैठे कमेंट कर रहे हैं परिवारवाद की। मैं जरा समझा देता हूं, आज माफ करना अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं जरा समय ले रहा हूं। आज हम किस परिवारवाद की चर्चा करते हैं? अगर किसी परिवार में अपने बलबूते पर जन समर्थन से एक से अधिक अनेक लोग अगर राजनीतिक क्षेत्र में भी प्रगति करते हैं, उसको हमने कभी परिवारवाद नहीं कहा है। हम परिवारवाद की चर्चा वो करते हैं जो पार्टी परिवार चलाता है, जो पार्टी परिवार के लोगों को प्राथमिकता देती है, जो पार्टी के सारे निर्णय परिवार के लोग ही करते हैं, वो परिवारवाद है। न राजनाथ जी की कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है, न अमित शाह की कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है। और इसलिए जहां एक परिवार को पार्टियां लिखी जाती हैं, वो लोकतंत्र में उचित नहीं है। लोकतंत्र में पार्टी अनेक, एक परिवार के 10 लोग राजनीति में आए, कुछ बुरा नहीं है। हम तो चाहते हैं नौजवान लोग आए। हम भी चाहते हैं ये इसकी चर्चा करिए। हमारे साथ, आपके साथ मेरा विषय नहीं है। देश के लोकतंत्र के लिए परिवारवादी राजनीति, पारिवारिक पार्टियों की राजनीति, ये हम सबकी चिंता का विषय होना चाहिए। और इसलिए मैं किसी परिवार के 2 लोग अगर प्रगति करते हैं, उसको तो मैं स्वागत करूंगा। 10 लोग प्रगति करें, मैं स्वागत करूंगा। देश में जितनी नई पीढ़ी अच्छे लोग आए, स्वागत योग्य है। सवाल यह है कि परिवार ही पार्टियां चलाती है। पक्का है कि ये अध्यक्ष नहीं होगा तो उसका बेटा होगा, ये नहीं होगा तो उसका बेटा होगा। ये लोकतंत्र का खतरा है। और इसलिए अच्छा हुआ दादा, थैंक यू। ये विषय कभी बोलता नहीं था, आज बोल दिया मैंने।
Okay, last comments. We finally have a framing, a formal framing from the Prime Minister of what he means when he says dynastic politics, Sumanth. And it's interesting, he looked at Amit Shah, whose son, is at the helm of BCCI, Rajnath Singh, whose son is in politics. The opposition shouted about various regional parties, and he said, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with Chirag Paswan. I don't have a problem with Scindia. I don't have a problem with two people of the same family. I have a problem when one family controls the decision making of a party. What did you make of this new
But
framing?
Barkha, I think that this issue of the Dynas rising in the BJP has probably got to him a little bit, because there was no real need for him to actually make this kind of a clarification as to what Parivarvad was. After all, they've been accusing the Congress of Parivarvad for decades now. So the very fact that he had to clarify, particularly with reference to Mr. Amit Shah's son and Mr. Rajnath Singh's son and so on, I saw that as an uncharacteristically defensive move, which perhaps was not actually necessary or was not in character with what the Prime Minister would actually do. One other point I wanted to quickly mention, Barkha, is that he spoke about a lot of schemes during his speech, but I never saw the word demonetization mentioned anywhere in that speech. Among all the schemes, he even used the smart cities and all of that as which never happened, by the way. Even those were mentioned, but demonetization was not mentioned. I wanted to mention it earlier. I didn't. I forgot.
Okay, Asad, briefly, keep everybody, please do request you to keep your comments brief. Asad, the Parivarvad framing of the Prime Minister?
I'll frame in 30 seconds, Barkha. First point. Come to Karnataka, Modi ji. Who is heading the Karnataka State Division? It is B.S. Yediyurappa ji ke Mahan Bete, Mr. Vijayendra, who's reigning the reins here in Karnataka. As in, he was also called a puppet chief minister or a remote holding chief minister by the faction of BJP leaders themselves. That is in Parivarvad. Look at how selectively Parivarvad comes in. The same thing is blamed for Congress, whereas BJP is doing the same in Karnataka. Second point, ये बलबूते की बात करते हैं मोदी जी, बलबूते से आए हैं. अमित शाह के बेटे जयशे का बलबूता बताइए. उन्होंने किया क्या है क्रिकेट की
But he
दुनिया में?
addressed that, na? He said,
BCCI precedents. So that is something I'd like to bring in.
Shashi, do you agree with the Suman that it was uncharacteristically defensive because people have raised questions as Asad just did? Or did you actually think that he was drawing a distinction between family members in the same profession and an entire political organization controlled by one family? It's a thin, it's a nuanced argument. Sumant is saying, why did he make it at all?
Well, I think it draws a contrast, right? If you look at the kind of parties in the so-called Indie alliance, it's largely these family-run parties. And I think that is the contrast that he's trying to draw. That, on the other side, it's not just the Congress, but it's this whole collection, motley group of parties that are practically run by one family, right? And I think that is the key subtle point that he wanted to make there. But going back to the other side of the argument, that what about these guys like in Karnataka or BCC and so on. Firstly, I think BCCI it's not a political party. It's a club, right? It has its own logic. It has its own rules and so on. So I wouldn't to make the same argument here is not very correct. Coming to Karnataka again, it is not that one family is running the BJP there, right? The particular individual has been given the opportunity, and that can be taken away any day. And that's how the BJP has run its politics. So there is no one single family that is controlling the affairs of the party.
Yashwant, I give you the last word. It has also struck me as interesting that the BJP has been willing to take, especially imports from the Congress, many of whom are dynasts. That's point one. Of course, the fact is that, as the Prime Minister said, Amit Shah ki kaun si party hai, Rajnath Singh ki kaun si party hai. The BJP has never been in a position where an entire party is controlled by one family. His reference was obviously to the Congress and to several regional parties. What do you think is the talking point from the Prime Minister's address that will stand out with voters today?
I think along with the line, he mentioned two words which essentially meant that if you are getting support of the public, if you are winning elections, on your own, then he doesn't have a problem. That is something which the two keywords, because I think with that particular line, he has separated not just his own people, but also the regional leaders. Stalin won the election after death of Karunanidhi on his own. Tejasvi Yadav was literally on the verge of becoming the chief minister on his own because Lalu Yadav was not really campaigning for him. Akhilesh won the mandate once, at least on his own. So I think where he was mentioning, I think winnability and public support, that is a key word. If you are popular, if the public is with you, then you're not a dynast. Then you have to be taken as an individual leader in your own, regardless of the fact that you are inheriting a political capital from your father, like Hemant Soren. He has taken his political capital to the next level. He is here to stay, regardless of what is happening. In fact, he is gonna emerge stronger after what has happened in the last 72 hours. So I think that is critical, and Parivarvad is definitely there, but he is lucky to have a Parivarvad of a different sort that doesn't go in the wrong direction because of the Sangha Parivar. That's what in that way. So he is right to an extent that because of his that entire core building blocks of the RSS and that kind of unit, you are unlikely to see any person becoming an office bearer just because his or her father or mother was something. That is unlikely to happen, or that is less likely to happen on that side of the on the side of the region.
Okay.